Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching and whatever you're watching on, awaken yourself from hibernation because the Invictus Racing League is back, ready to deliver a season like no other. Welcome along to round 1 of this 15-round season, sponsored by GT Omega and in partnership with gridfinds.com, where we start in South America amongst the vibrant colours of Brazil, a country with a coastline just under 7.5 kilometres long, a country where football is the dominant sport wherever you look. It's the F1 circus in town today though, so scoring penalties hopefully won't be the aim of the grid tonight. A grid that features some returning faces and some new challengers in the ring, all of whom will be looking to get the opening win tonight around the infamous Interlagos track. With 15 corners featuring likes of Senna Resses and the Tosqueda de Largo, it's far from an unfamiliar sight to any Formula 1 veteran. And it brings me great delight to say I'm joined for another season by the finest motorsport commentator in all of Worcestershire, Mr. Cameron McCallum. Good evening, good sir.
Good evening, everyone. How are we all? We're back for another season, and wow, does it feel right to be back in the commentary box, commentating on all the action. And obviously there's no cars on track yet, but the new season is moments away from kicking off. And with the new season comes new challenges, new driver lineups, but still the same flat-out racing action that we all love to see. We're kicking off our world tour here in Brazil, a track that is famous to all fans, past and present. Interlagos is a proper driver's track, a track that follows the ups and downs of the terrain and is relentless on both man and machine. In real life, of course, there have been many famous scenes here, such as Max Verstappen's awe-inspiring drive in wet conditions back in 2016, and another moment simply known by many as Is That Glock, where back in 2008 Sir Lewis Hamilton won his first of many Formula 1 World Championships, to the unfortunate dismay of Felipe Massa. We all remember those scenes, I'm sure. But with the new season comes a new game, and a new game that has many changes through it, such as the handling. One thing with the handling this year is that, wow, those curbs, you need to stay off them. They bite back. They are not so forgiving on the drivers. In fact, it significantly changed how drivers treat each track on this year's game, as well as fuel mixtures. Obviously in real life, engine modes were reduced as you have to run the same in quali as during the race, and that has been replicated in the F1 2021 game. Standard mixture throughout the race apart from safety cars and VSCs. But now, as we head into the new season, let's give you a rundown of the grid this season 13 of IRL. Exile Merckx and Zeke line up for Mercedes, a British duo there, something we'll see in real life next year in F1 of course. Merckx won the championship last year in PC F1, where he was racing for the Racing Point team, now known to us as Aston Martin. Two daring Danes line up for Red Bull, with Meyer, who finished 10th last year, it's been that long, I'm thinking it's years instead of seasons, who finished 10th with Alfa Romeo, alongside Amir, who is relatively new to this league, was in and out of racing last year. J. Cole and Dino line up for the Italian Red Scuderia Ferrari team, two Brits taking on the challenge of driving that ever so famous brand in this season. Mysterious 667, the only Czech driver, lines up for Aston Martin. He finished 6th last year with Mercedes, from one Mercedes-powered car to another. Undertaker joins his Slovenian teammates, both Slovenians, in Alpine, and Undertaker finished 16th with Red Bull last year, and Nico is driving alongside in the other side of the garage for him this year. Jos Heidse, a Dutch driver driving for the Papaya team, McLaren, alongside MJQ. They were in PC F1 last year briefly, and also drove an absolute manic champion fight in PC F2, which Fozzy and I had the pleasure of commentating on last year. Liam Markham and Bashi line up for AlphaTauri, the sister team to Red Bull. What will they face this year? Similar challenges to Yuki Tsunoda or absolute grace that we're seeing on track via Pierre Gasly? Acosta, the only Colombian driver, lines up along the only Finnish driver in this league, Marcus for Alfa Romeo, another strong Italian brand. Owen and Mansu, the Dutch duo for Haas F1 team, the American team. Will they face similar challenges to real-life Haas, or will they be a championship contender? Delange 93 and Excel Kangakon line up for Williams, and Kangakon finished 3rd last year for Racing Point alongside Merckx. Now they are split up. Will we see the similar rivalry like we did last year, or will there be something different? Well, we're not long away from finding out, but before we do, let's see about the point system, because to win championship you need points, and within IRL we use a different point scoring system than F1 does. You need 90% race distance to be classified, otherwise it's a DNF. And first place gets you 15 points, second 12 points, and third place 10 points. Fourth, 8 points, fifth, 6 points, sixth, 5 points, 5 points, seventh, 4 points, eighth, 3 points, ninth, 2 points, and 10th, you get a singular point. You could also, though, win a point via getting the fastest lap if you finish in the top 10. But talking of fastest laps, Fozzy, the first qualifying session of Season 13 here in Invictus Racing League in PC F1 is underway. And wow, it looks nice conditions out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, and it's good, like you say, to finally have some cars back on track. And it's good for us as well, Cameron, to finally have some dry running. If you joined us for our commentary throughout PC F2 last season, you would have seen that me and Cameron tends to bring the rain wherever we went. We had rain in near enough every session and every week that we did a live broadcast, but it's good to see things all looking dry and the drivers getting out on the track. It's going to take a couple of laps for them to be fully up to speed. I know there have been practice sessions, and a lot of drivers have been doing a bit of practice around the track to try and get themselves up to speed. So it'll be interesting to see where everybody space each other come the end of this qualifying session. It's, I think, the first time that all 19 of these drivers have actually been in the same lobby together. So we get a true representation come the end of this session. So we've got 4 cars out on an out lap at the moment. All of those, apart from Mansu, are on medium tyres. Soft tyres looks to be the big choice for most drivers here, but we have got about 6 drivers opting for the mediums, so it could be interesting to see how this goes throughout this short qualifying session. But let's see who's going to go for a first flying lap. I believe it's going to be, let me have a look who we got. Well, it looks like Owen's going for a lap. Owen's going to be going around in the Haas. I'm going to ride on board with him and see how it can go. As he hooks up the DRSs quite naturally, Owen being one of the guys on the medium tyres, he's going to come down for Retro Aposta now with the DRS wide open, getting his first flying lap on the board. And it's a sharp break around the 70-metre line as he kissed the apex there for turn 4, round with the ski to Largo and hugging it left all the way through turn 5 up to sector 2, one of the tight parts of the track. Turn 6 here is a little bit of a downshift, and he carried the speed through 7, then the first big braking zone of sector 2 is this tight right-hander through turns 8, which leads into 9, a third, fourth gear complex. He's got another car which is kindly getting out of the way from there. Remember, this is on the medium tyres, so we might see quicker than what he's about to set there.
Yeah, medium tyres are probably for a reconnaissance lap here in IRL. Sorry, something funny just occurred. But Mansu 95 says the fastest lap of the session, a 106.627. And just to give you a bit of detail, sorry,
Right back, Cameron.
Off guard. To give you a little bit of detail, in PS F1, Stinson set an absolute scorcher of a lap on the soft tyre of a 105.891. And in PS F2 it was a 106.4, so a 106.6 is roughly where we'd expect the cars and the drivers to be. If you're new to IRL, it's an 18-minute qualifying session followed by a 50% race distance, and this season is sponsored by GT Omega and in partnership with Gridfinder, so find your place on the grid today. As we're just following Mansu here, he's already encountering a bit of traffic. This might just be his cool-down lap though, but we are seeing times slowly come in. We've got Owen is vibing with a 107.3, Bashi with a 107.5, who's just getting out of the way by the looks of it for his fellow driver this year. Exal Mert, though, the championship winner last year, will he be able to do it again? Take another championship here, IRL. They're all quick drivers as Nico sets a 106.251 on the soft compound. Now, following other qualifying sessions that happened throughout the other leagues, a lot of them did try to go on mediums. Mediums is a very strong race tyre around here, Fozzy. However, it ended up drawing them to go onto the soft tyre to get that extra lap, because as well as having a good race tyre, you need a strong grid position. Luckily, Interlagos, out of all the tracks the F1 calendar, is one we can overtake on, but starting high up on the grid certainly helps you to finish higher in the end. Indeed, as Exal Mert setting P3 there, 106.469 there for the Mercedes driver, but we're already almost into the 105s here, Fozzy. A 106.045 for Kangokan, who last year finished third with Racing Point. So he is definitely a championship favourite already. I know it's the first round and we're already talking about the championship, but it is the big prize at the end of the day. It's what all these drivers are fighting for, is come the end of 15 rounds, of which there's a lovely calendar, we will have another champion. Is that AlphaTauri stopped at Young Cal there? Yeah, it is. He's just trying to get out of the way. Not too sure who that was. Might be Liam.
Yeah, it looks like it was Liam. He was just sort of stopping to get out of the way. cars have gone past now. He doesn't seem to be moving much quicker at the moment. He does seem to be just stopped there, so clearly not going to be the fastest lap for him. But yeah, that's a great lap from the Williams driver to get up there. 106.045, really, really good. And Merckx as well, P4 at the moment, but on the medium tyres, that's not too bad, considering he's beating quite a lot of other people on the softs as well, as we see Liam Markham head down into the pits after his little turn 12 excursion. Yeah, like you say, it's a great lap, 106.045 at the moment. Definitely championship contention, Kanga-kun. Yeah, Undertaker and Nico as well, some really good 106.2s there. Look at that, 1,000th between those two drivers there.
Wow.
I don't think you can really get much closer between the two teammates there, so that's certainly something to watch. Is it going to be Undertaker who takes the battle out of them two, or is Nico going to come around and get a much faster time? I imagine he probably will with 12 minutes still to go. Various yellow flags throughout the track, but a lot of this is just drivers getting out the way of other people on the laps. Although Bashi does seem to be causing a bit of a yellow flag, even though there's no one around him. He just seems to be taking a bit of a slow lap. Maybe it's a cool down or a warm-up lap. So yellow flags do need to be taken with a bit of a grain of salt. It's not always an instant when you're in the qualifying, Cameron, is it?
Yeah, it's yellow flags, especially in this game. It doesn't really detect that drivers are doing a cool-down lap or a warm-up lap. It just goes, oh, you're going slow, you're getting a yellow flag. But with Bashi here, he's already done 3 laps on those mediums. The advantage with the medium tyre, as he possibly maybe sets a fast lap here, it looks like he's not. You would have already expected the run here. The good advantage with the mediums is that it lasts longer, but if you're already taking the life out of your tyres in qualifying, is there much point? Would you rather start on the soft and get that extra grip? I know what I'd love to do, as Liam Markham, the other AlphaTauri driver, exits the pits now for a out lap. And is there anyone on a flying lap here today? It doesn't look like it. It looks fairly quiet as Acosta enters the pits there. Interesting pit entry. And obviously the racing line out of the final corner gets you ever so close to that pit entry to take the maximum speed there. So, oh wow, the Aston Martin just jumping in front of him as well. So, yeah, interesting stuff going on. But that lap time from Excel that's good. That is very good on the mediums. As well with Kanga-kun, almost breaching into the 105s. Will it happen? Well, I think we're probably signing more yes than anything else. And Undertaker up there with his teammate as well. Really, really good work from them all. But we haven't seen much of Zeke or Dino. None of them have put a lap on the board. Looks like they might be doing that now. Yeah, as he heads onto the Retroposta, Dino in the Ferrari, the 21 car. Braking around about the 70 metres, as we said earlier, before you enter turn 4, part of the Descida de Largo. Get close to the apex on the left. Be careful not to get spat out by the tyre as you now head through Ferradura and La Riña, which means Little Orange in Brazilian. Before you now take a very harsh braking zone into 8. Loads of opportunities to overtake around here, around this slow section, Fozzy.
Yeah, I'm just riding on board with Liam in the AlphaTauri. He's going on a flying lap and he's just set a purple sector 1, so I'm going to follow Liam for the rest of his lap to see how he does. It's looking really smooth. Traffic's getting out of his way nicely and he's hooking up all of his apexes that I've seen him do so far through sector 1 and, well, in what I've seen so far of sector 2. If we go around turn 9 now, how is he going to do throughout the remaining corners, the remaining 6 corners? Well, so far it's looking very good. We'll see what his time's like when he gets up to the end of sector 2 as Jos Heinze retires from the session. Maybe a bit of an incident for the McLaren driver there. And it's a green purple sector for Liam, so it's not purple in sector 2, but he might still be able to get a really nice slipstream off the car in front of him. So let's see what he manages to get here. Got a purple sector 1 and a personal best sector 2. Is it going to be a purple sector 3? And is he going to get an improvement on P13? Well, he crosses the line and goes up to P7. So it's a very good time of 106.7. He gets pipped by another car and drops down to P8. But he's still almost 3/4 of a second off that pole time. So he's got a bit of catching up to do. But is he going to go for another lap on these softs, or is he going to box and go for another set? We'll have to wait and see, Cameron.
Excel Kanga-kun is on a flying lap, from one flying lap to another. Purple sector 1 already. He's already top of the timesheet, so is he going to go one step further and get into the 105s? There's a bit of traffic up ahead. It's the Ferrari of J. Cole, so with the same first sort of part of their username. Hopefully he'll get out of the way for him, but he also might be on a flying lap. Going up through the gears now, 6th, 7th into the braking zone. I wonder if he's looking to abort this lap. He seems to slow down on the pace, on the ferocity of the brazen driving attitude here as he looks to go through Young Cow. And now he will get a slipstream off J. Cole here. He looks to get a slipstream all the way through. It's a purple sector too. Will it be 3 purple sectors with 8 minutes to go? 1 qualifying, taking the tight line near the pit entry. He goes across the line and it's a 1:05.726 for Kango Khan, the Williams driver, straight once again to the top of the times. Now that is a strong lap time, isn't it, Fozzy? Wow.
That was a very strong lap time, and I think he's got to thank the driver and buy him a pint whoever in front of him. That slipstream definitely helping him throughout Sector 3, but he did all the work in Sector 1 and 2 as well. As you say, 3 purple sectors. Fantastic lap by the Williams driver there. Can also point out how Merck's P5 still in P5 on the medium tyres. That was a stonking lap he put in their mediums. I'd be interested to see what Merck is able to do when he gets around on the softs, as Nico pips his teammate and finally breaks that 1,000th gap that they had. Nico jumps to P2, Undertaker down in, well, P4 now as Meyer in the Red Bull sets a 106.058. Only 2 drivers making into 105s at the moment. Make that 3 as Mystarius goes round on the Aston Martin and gets a 105.949, which is not far behind the 105.934 of Nico in the Alpine. So it's getting very, very close up at the top there. I wouldn't be able to tell you confidently who's going to be pole, although that lap from Kangokan is definitely looking like a possible contention for pole.
Yeah, pole is going to matter. For the first race of the season, it's just a whole load of confidence you take into the first round. It's really vindictive of your driving ability, especially on such a track like this, where it is a proper driver's track. And just following Zik now, he looks to have aborted his lap. Meyer seems to have gotten his way slightly. There's also a slight RPM glitch. Some things don't change with the new games. And yeah, just confirmed that he is on an outlap indeed. Acosta, Alfa Romeo in 15th. What can he do? He's got DRS, as you all do in qualifying. Got a little bit of a slipstream there from the McLaren up ahead. That was MJ Koo. And he has set a purple sector 1 here for Acosta, so he might be going up. The time tower will stick with him now. MJ Koo might end up getting in the way more than anything, but there we go. No, he's invalidated his lap. Track limits going back to bite him once more. That's going to be a bit of a kick in the teeth there, isn't it, for the Alfa Romeo driver, the only Colombian driver on our grid. And we've got a lot of British drivers this season, and a lot of Dutch as well. 7 British and 4 Dutch, and a mixture of Danes as well, and loads of other countries. It's great to see people from all over the world getting involved in such a organisation here. And just remind you are watching IRL Season 13 PC F1, sponsored by Gridfinder as well as GTO Mega. And this has been one hell of a qualifying session so far, with just over 5 minutes to go. And we have no idea who's going to get pole here. The uncertainty is what makes this so interesting. Liam Markham looks to be on a flying lap here. The AlphaTauri, his teammate in 12th. Will he be able to pip him to the post there? Not much gap between them either, him and his teammate. There's a couple of 500ths there, so well, that is incredibly wide, but hasn't been detected by the game. There are certain curbs and certain things that the drivers will know that they can be a little bit more harsher with, but some might just spit you out, and that's the ever so interesting thing here. But Liam Markham going around Mugello, heading up the hill to Young Cow, and he's slowing all the way down, so he is charging up for a flying lap. That was just another warm-up lap, and off he goes around the final corner. That isn't really a corner in F1 machinery at all these days. They do get ever so close to that pit wall though, don't they?
They do indeed. Excel J. Cole's finally come out on the soft tyres. I was wondering what his strategy was going to be. We'd only seen him out setting a lap time on the mediums, but he comes out now on that lap. He's currently P19 in the Ferrari. It'll be interesting to see what time he can get. He's quite far back from P18 as well. P18, Owen, a 107.320. Excel J. Cole's only got 107.752, so this lap time definitely going to be crucial for him if he wants to jump up the leaderboard. He's only got 3 minutes 43 seconds remaining. He's on that outlap, like I said, at the moment, just letting an Alfa Romeo go by. So we'll keep an eye on him as we go throughout the next few minutes, just to see how he does. How's everybody else looking? Have we got anybody else on a flying lap? Is there anyone you've seen, Cameron, on a flying lap who looks like they're setting the timing screens alight?
There's a couple drivers, and Zeke has invalidated his lap once again, so that hasn't gone too well for him. Dino looks to be on a flying lap, setting a purple sector 1. They all do seem to be pretty good at that sector 1, don't they? They're all setting purples, setting the timer screen light, as you say. The 21 car, the Ferrari, with a interesting livery this year. We won't get started on that. It's not as bad as some other cars. But as we head through sector 2, the tight and twisty section, where this is very much all about individual driver style, getting on the power early. And you can, I find, with this year's cars, get on the power early, but you've got to be careful. It does snap on you as he rides the curb there, and those curbs aren't ever so dangerous. I've been slightly tormented by them throughout my experience on PC on the F1 2021 game. 21 car, though, not setting any more purple sectors through sector 2, so all come down to the final sector, and he hasn't really got much of a toe, if any. The DRS activated, stick close to the pit wall, take the shortest route, and he goes up to 8th position, 106.37, not breaking into the 105s, as only 3 drivers have done it so far, but with 2 minutes and 20 left on the clock, the drivers will be wanting to go out for their final out lap and get ready for what could be the lap for pole position here at the Brazil track Interlagos for PC F1 Season 13 here in Invictus Racing League.
Yeah, and Kango-kun is coming back out on the soft tyres. Williams driver, who's currently got provisional pole by over 2 tenths. No one's able to get as close to him as what he's done there. So we'll see if he manages to extend his lead and get a little bit further out in front. There's a couple of yellow flags in front of him, but again, that's just drivers slowing down. Everybody trying to get these final laps in now. Everybody trying to make their way up the timing grid to get as close to pole as possible. You mentioned how overtaking is tough on some tracks, and as you say, Interlagos is luckily one of those tracks where overtaking is actually quite doable. There are lots of overtaking opportunities, especially down into turn 4, down the Reta of Posta into the Skida de Largo, and along the main straight into turn 1 with Senna S's as well. And if you're feeling brave, you can make dives anywhere through sector 2, through turn 7, 8, 9, even turn 10, where we saw Lewis Hamilton and Alex Albon have a collision just a few years ago. Everywhere's possible on Interlagos, which is great.
Mansu is trying to make a fastest lap possible here. He had a purple sector 2, had a bit of a toe, actually overtook the driver in front of him for the final bit, and he does not improve his potential grid position, and he stays P6, unfortunately for him. But yeah, he was setting purple sectors throughout the lap, but just, I think that overtake on the final straight there really cost him time. Sometimes it's worth the toe, and other times you're catching him so quickly that it becomes more of a hindrance rather than anything else. But we look at laps and tyres. A couple drivers are on 2-lap-old tyres for softs, and certain ones like Kangaskhan are on fresh softs, as you said, coming out of the pit. So this will be one of their final runs with 20 seconds left on the clock. There is a yellow flag in sector 1, sector 2, and what will Kangaskhan do here? Will he conquer another lap around here and get a 105.7, or will it be a sorry, even better than a 105.7? Who knows, Fozzy?
Yeah, anything is possible. Mystaris has just gone up to P2 with a 105.755, so it's looking close, but Kangaskhan still takes that provisional pole position as the timing is all done, and we're seeing drivers finishing their flying laps now. It is looking like it's going to be the Williams of Excel, Kangaskhan, on pole position as he goes and doesn't improve his time any further. Aston Martin of Mystaris is P2 with 105.755, and it looks like the Alpine of Nico with 105.934 is just about to take P3, unless there's any incredible improvements anywhere down the field. That's looking like your top 3. Running off the top 5, it's Maya and Marcus. If we go down to the top 10, it's Mansu, Undertaker, Acosta, J. Cole and Owen. Some great laps in there. 105.726, looking like your provisional pole position. Wow, yeah, that is a very quick lap, and it is very close between the top 2 as well. Will we be able to see this continue into the race? Well, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one. Hopefully, like we said at the start, we don't get any rain, and hopefully it's a nice clean race with a lot of strategy thrown in as well.
Yeah, look at all the drivers. They're all starting on the soft compound. They all switched from the mediums. XL Mert popping up to 4th there with a 105.8 as well. They're dying parts of the session. Wow, it's going to be a good race. All the top 10 starting on soft tyres, all about the same tyre age. Obviously, if you're outside the top 10, free choice of tyre. Those in P11 will be looking here to go up the grid substantially as well, and with the new fresh set of softs potentially. But it's all going to come down to that race start, isn't it? Who can get the jump on everyone else on that race start, especially through the Senna S's, it's immediately an overtaking opportunity straight away when the lights have already gone out. So we've seen plenty of drama there in the past, especially if you go on 5-lap open lobbies on F1 Online. You'll see plenty of drama. But there we go, though. That is the first qualifying session of 15 rounds here for IRL Season 13, sponsored by GT Omega, brought to you in partnership with gridfinder.com, and as you say, Kangaskhan starting on the front row. Williams and Aston Martin alongside each other. Wow, this will be fun. And like the Undertaker, you might have to become the overtaker in the race. We've got 36 laps to make moves and 36 laps to see who will be leading the championship immediately, because it's easy with the first round. Whoever wins is leading the championship. It's easy for maths, isn't it? Which makes our job a little bit easier, but not less exciting, because this will be fun. And wow, Fozzy, we're in for a treat, aren't we?
Yeah, well, near enough all the drivers within a second of the leading time there, so I can't wait. I really, really can't. Like you say, overtaking opportunity from lights out into turn 1, as I said earlier, down to turn 4 as well, and anywhere through sector 2 into turn 12 and cow, all overtaking opportunities throughout this track. And the heavens are on our side today, because it looks like we've got a dry race to begin with anyway. Who knows if rain's going to come? It is Brazil, anything is possible. We've seen some great races here in the past, not just in IRL, but throughout the real world as well. So anything can happen over the course of the next 36 laps. I can't wait to get underway. And it's all going to be down, I think, to strategy and obviously driver skill. I think the start, though, is going to set up quite a lot of someone's race. If someone can get a good start and get into the rhythm and get the first few laps under their belt, I reckon they should be able to run away with quite a comfortable result, especially for the pole sitter as well, and anybody in the top 3 or 4. If they can get a good start, they could make up some crucial moves in the first few corners, which would really help them throughout the rest of this Grand Prix. So we're just going to wait for the drivers now to be ready, and then we'll get underway with our formation lap. Just some final changes being made to driver setups. Cameron, what are you expecting this to be? Are you expecting drivers to opt for a one-stop strategy here, or do you think we might see a couple of two-stops? What do you think the game plan is going to be if you're a driver?
Yeah, well, I reckon, and following what other leagues have done, especially the PlayStation League, a lot of them boxed around lap 14 to 16, and that was without safety car intervention, I believe. But then that is the thing, if safety cars get thrown, or VSCs, that throws all your previous strategy out the window. You might end up doing something ridiculous like a 2 or 3 stop, or something boring like a 1 stop, and be able to profit on opportunity. But it's going to come down to how quickly those soft tyres degrade and slow their performance, and whether those who might be starting on mediums or hards will be able to jump those on softs. It's all going to be a game of 3D chess, like it is in F1. But there we have it. There is the timer on the screen. 25 seconds till the formation lap begins. And then not long until the first race of PC F1 here in Invictus Racing League will be underway for 36 laps of, I'm sure, pure action here with all the drivers we have. The calibre of drivers is absolutely insane and remarkable this year. So I want to thank all of those for getting involved with the Invictus Racing League, and if you too want to get involved, then please check out the website, linked in the description below, and learn how you can get involved, whether it's in commentary or driving or anything else. There's plenty of opportunities. Fozzy.
Yeah, and if you're watching the live broadcast, let us know in the live chat, who are you expecting to win? Who are you rooting for in the inaugural race of the season? It is anyone's game, as we say. Now, it's time for the formation lap. Formation lap is crucial. Right now in the UK, we're experiencing some pretty high temperatures, and that's what the drivers are going to be wanting to get into their tyres. They're going to want to make sure the tyres are in the perfect operating window. That's why you see the drivers swerving left to right, and some of them touching the grass as well as they try and build up them temperatures. If you've got cold tyres, cold brakes, you're really not going to have any traction. And same if you have really overheated brakes, overheated tyres, they need to be in that specific operating window to gain optimal performance, and that's crucial if you want a good start in this race as well. These are expert drivers though, they know what they're doing. They'll have already planned what they're going to be doing on this formation lap and how they're going to approach the start, so we just need to see how it all pans out and how they're going to do it in the first few corners. Are we going to see some drivers thinking about lap 36, or are we going to see some drivers just thinking about lap 1 and 2 and really trying to make up the moves they can in the opening 2 laps? It's anybody's game. It's early in the championship though. People won't want to be risking a DNF to put them on the back foot moving into the next few rounds. They're going to want to be playing it easy and trying to get some good points on the table for them to build on and to work on over the next few races. But drivers now are slowly lining up to the grid. It looks like people in the chat look rooting for Bashi, so we'll see how he does. He's starting P12, so he's got a bit of work to do to gain into the points. But Cameron, I'll hand over to you. It's about to get underway. It's season 13 of Invictus Racing League. Let's get going.
Yep, sponsored by GT Omega and brought to you in partnership with Grid Finder. There is your predicted pit stop strategy on your screen now as we wait for the cars to begin roaring, the lights to illuminate. The crowds are cheering. I hope you're ready for what is going to be one hell of a race here for season 13 of Invictus Racing League. Here we go then. We're waiting for the marshal to give the green flags and for the lights to be illuminated. There we go. We've got the lights. We can't see them, but we've got the lights. And for the first time in Invictus Racing League Season 13, we are underway. It's go, go, go. Kangakon gets a mega start. Mystarius got potentially dropping back there. Nico alongside the Aston Martin. Alpine versus Mercedes through the centre S's as we head into the Retro Imposter. Kangakon already getting a 7/10th lead. Excel Mert alongside Nico there potentially. Is there going to be a potential overtake here into Decina de Lago? All the cars get through nicely. The Red Bull, Amaya up through into P4, chasing down Excel Merck. Nico being potentially chased by the Haas driver of Mansu here. Mansu 95 looking to take 5th position from Nico. There's action all up and down the field. It's 3 attempts between Merck and Mystarius, potentially right on the gearbox of the Aston Martin. What was Force India and now then was Racing Point is now Aston Martin, and they are versus the Mercedes of Mert. Kangakon though slowly, steadily breaking away from that pack. 6-7 attempts now between him and Mystarius, and now Excel Mert is chasing on to the Aston Martin down the back straight, or the main straight, up to the pits. Will there be a move into turn 1? I'm sure you'll see a move indeed, but where will it come from? Who's going to go defensive and who's going to let them overtake? Kangakon setting the pace. It's a 1:12.59. Aston Martin is now, well, according to my time, green P1, but that just seems to be a slight glitch. The timing tower has gone berserk as we expect and come to fruition within PC F1, but I can't confirm. It is Kangakon still leading. The Mercedes looks down the inside. Does he get the job done? No, he does not. He's going to have to wait till the next overtaking opportunity, which is going to be around turn 8. Or potentially Lahinia in turn 7 if he can get up alongside. They're trying. He's looking towards the curb. But Fozzy, this is a brilliant start to Season 13 of Invictus Racing League PC F1.
Yeah, it was a perfect start from Kangakon. He managed to get away, get out of trouble, which was what he would have been wanting to avoid. It was a great start for Merckx as well. He managed to get up into P3. Some nice moves through turns 1, 2 and 3 and onto the Retro Imposter. Really played well to him. He's really staying with Mystarius as well. The Aston Martin will be able to get some DRS in a few laps time, or a bit of a slipstream now to try and make a move down into turn 1. Well, he tried it last time. He's a little bit too far back. He seems just that little bit closer now. He's in the gearbox of the Aston Martin. He pulls out to the right hand side. Aston Martin keeps left. He's going to go take the long way round, and looks like he's going to be able to make that move. Mystarius lets him go quite nicely, doesn't fight it too much. There's a long way to go in this race yet. DRS is enabled, and it's Merckx in P2. Kangakon still has that lead though, a very comfortable lead as well, and it seems to be a bit of a pack forming from Owen backwards. Owen seems to be 2 and a bit seconds back from Delange as well in the Williams, so a bit of a gap forming there, but it's looking good for the top runners at the moment, Cameron.
Yeah, the 2 Alfa Romeos, Marcus and Acosta, looking to battle out for position here. The 25 car on his teammates as they head into and around the turn 8 sector 2 complex, closing that gap. On the brakes, it seems to be more than anything. The Colombian is chasing down his teammates. Will he be looking for a move here, potentially through and around Young Cow to get onto the back straight, or will he wait for DRS? That's your best overtaking opportunity on this track, Fozzy.
Owen and Dino are fighting their way through turns 11. They're going side by side. It's very dangerous. None of them wanting to give up. I'm riding on board with Liam, who's got a great view of this. The Ferrari just manages to get past the Haas. Maybe a little bit of contact there, but nothing game ending. Owen's going to get a great slipstream on Dino, though. Is he going to be able to make a move down into turn 1 and regain that place he was just fighting for? Well, I think he might just be a little bit too far back at the moment. But who's this? Where's Liam come from? Side by side with Owen. As we go into the center S, it's incredibly close. Liam manages to hold the inside, which becomes the outside. He goes a little
He's
bit
gone
wide
wide.
over the track limits. Yeah, careful rejoin there. Manages to stay behind Owen, though, who's got DRS. And there's another car getting involved. Who's coming to say hello? It's MJ Cube. They're going almost free abreast down the Retrofroster into Desquida-Lalado. And it looks like Liam manages to stay ahead of the McLaren. This is tight. It's all looking good at the front, though. This is where the king battle is. MJ Cube trying to find a way past, but it's just not a wide enough track for him to be able to get past the AlphaTauri. He's going to be able to draw this gearbox of the AlphaTauri in his sleep. He's there close behind it and staying close behind it. Is he going to be able to make a move by the end of the lap? Well, he's going to have to make a bit of a dive bomb if he does, Cameron.
Yeah, of course, and the McLaren is on the mediums, and the AlphaTauri is on the hard tyres, so the McLaren should have the grip advantage here. He needs to get this job done and move done on the AlphaTauri so he can break away and work his race pit stop strategy, or else he's going to get caught up in the pits. And talk about getting caught up, Jos Heinze looks to have got a penalty of some kind there. He's running in P18. He is around 24 seconds behind the next car, Fozzy.
We have a new race leader. Merck just managed to just get past Kangaskhan. I think that was down into turn 1. I didn't manage to catch it on board. And he's got a free 10th gap as well, as Amir gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Has he got any damage? It was also Jos Heinze who managed to get a penalty as well in the McLaren. He's down in P18 at the moment, so not the start he would have been looking for, as the two Alfa Romeos are fighting their way. And in comes Jacob going past one of the AlphaTauris. Marcus getting past quite easily by the Ferrari for the final points positions there. But it's how's it looking up at the front? Well, Merck's still got a nice, comfortable lead ahead of
there's a spin!
Cameron.
Owen is vibing. Owen is spinning. The 24 car is around on the way into turn 8 there. Lohinia, little orange. That's a little spin for the Haas driver. He's on the hard tyres. He collided, I believe, with MJ or the AlphaTauri potentially. They were battling out side by side and someone had to give. And the only thing that gave was Owen's tyres there. That's going to be a bit of a, another kick in the teeth, isn't it, for the drivers? But the battle for the race lead is still underway. Look how close they are. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 all in the same camera shot there as we head down the Retro Aposta for the 6th time this race. Exile Kangaskhan has DRS. Will he get the move done on the race leader? He's too far back in the braking zone. Through to Soda de Lago. 1, 2, Noah's Ark through by through. Mystarius 667 3/10 away from Exile Kangaskhan. The Aston Martin chasing down the potential race leader. Merck has not got away here. He was looking on lap 1, he looked safe. He looked 7/10 in the clear, but that has gone out the window completely as Mansu gets a 5-second penalty, and there is a yellow flag, and I believe he might have gone round there. He is going slow. The other Haas car in trouble. Oh dear, Fozzy. But look, Kangaskhan and Mert are going to have to battle this out surely sooner or later, and Mystarius might just be looking for that race lead here on lap 6 or 7 as we head into the next lap. And why, oh my, the battles are going thick and strong throughout the pack. Nico 4/10, going less than that behind Meyer in the Red Bull, the lead Red Bull there of the pack in P4. His teammate down in 18th, got the penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as Mansu and Marcus also come into the pits on lap 6. Now this doesn't seem... Got a spin. Is that a Red Bull driver going slow? Amir, he's going from bad to worse for the Red Bull driver. He's managing to get the car under control. No further intervention required from race control, but someone's going to need to get in the middle of these cars. Yeah, they're fighting it out. Look at Mystarius. Less than a 10th between him and Kangaskhan as we head into 7, 8 and 9. A section made for overtaking, and especially for battling out for the race lead position here. It's 1, 2 and 3 for Merckx in the Mercedes, the Williams driver and the Aston Martin.
Not good for MJ Coop. He's ended up in the wall just going through with the Desquida de Lado. Not the start he would have been looking for. He's down in P13 at the moment, and his teammate's got that penalty as well, so it's not the best of starts from McLaren's. But it's not the best of starts for the Haas drivers as well. We've seen a spin as Owen goes side by side with Cooper, manages to get past up into P13. Cooper doesn't look like he's done 2 yet though. He might try and fight that as we go into turn 1, but it's looking close to the front, Cameron.
Yeah, Kangaskhan potentially looking to the inside. He's going to back out more sense than potentially other drivers would have, such as me in this position. I would have gone for that fully send it, but Kangaskhan is certainly a better driver. He holds back. He knows he's got DRS down the Retro Aposta, the opposite straight, and potentially a move to be made. But Mert here, is he burning through energy? He's still keeping a fair distance from the car chasing him down in his mirror, and Mystarius is slowly closing on. Oh, Kangaskhan gets a moment there, gets on the curb around Acida del Lago, turn 5, and almost loses it and manages to regain control without losing too much time, just a mere 10th or 2. But Mysterious is looking here. If they two are the front of the pack start battling, surely Mysterious will be rubbing his hands, ready to jump in on any action that might unfold. Looking down throughout the pack, we've got MJQ heading into the pits, and we've got a potential fight here between Bashi and Delange 93, the other Williams fighting the other Alpha Tauri. A little bit of a gap between them now, but we know it's all about in Sector 2. If you can't get the overtake, just keep as close to them as possible. Get your tyres ready, save your energy, and ready to burn it all the way down the main pit straight to get the move into the Senna S's. But obviously the Senna S's are great because you can battle it out and basically get your position back before getting DRS. There seems to be a gap here, taking different lines. Bashi taking a tighter line, Delange taking the wider route, following the banking of the corner. We all know about banking after Zandvoort, and will we see it's a similar atmosphere as well. Delange was regenerating energy there, just potentially on braking, but Bashi is starting to close up. He will have DRS again. Another bite at the cherry. Will he get it? The Williams weaves to the left, taken to the middle road. Bashi looking to the outside, not close enough at all. Delange regenning on the brakes, and Bashi here needs to get past once again. They're both on Williams. They're both on medium tyre compounds, but they both need to fight out for the lower points positions. And talking of fighting out for points, well, Owen is not, but he is very close to Mansu, and they're battling out for pride. The hard tyre on Owen and the medium tyre on Mansu. Potentially a little battle between teammates here. Teammate rivalry already starting to appear here and sit in the first round here at IRL Season 13 in Brazil. And it's been one hell of a race so far as we head on to the 10th lap out of 36 here. DRS once again, Mert once again keeping in front though. There just seems to be no change for the top 3. Maybe they're trying to break away from the rest of the pack. Well, they're not doing a particularly great job. There's just 5/10th intervals between all the cars. If they're going to fight, if they're going to get away, they need to try it now before the pit window opens. 4/10ths, 3/10ths, but just not enough, Fozzy, to make the move.
So based on what we've seen so far, Cameron, do you think a lot of these drivers are going to be going for a one-stop strategy, especially for top 8 who are on the soft tyres? Do you expect to see us one stop from these?
Yeah, potentially so. It looks to be, especially if you're on the soft to mediums, you can make it most likely on a one-stop. Bashi has made it into P9. A little bit of wheel banging with Dino along the Retro Poster there, but he managed to take the position anyway. And Delange is also looking up the rear gear, or the rear wing of the Scuderia Ferrari, as it has been a spinner, or potentially something. It looks to be another Red Bull. Is that a Mir potentially again, Fozzy? I'm not too sure.
I think it was Meyer, but I can't confirm that.
Okay, and there's all sorts of troubles for Red Bull and troubles for Haas. Meyer now is looking very compromised. J. Cole in the Ferrari will get DRS, the 98 car, staring at the big Honda lettering, and will soon be in front of the Red Bull. Takes to the inside, heading into the Senna S's. What will Meyer do? Will he look to extend the corner? No, he doesn't. He settles. He knows he can get DRS down the Retro Poster, and there is a potential for getting that position back. Will he try and fight for it? He's already on overtake. He's low on energy though, 6% in the tank, but it's just enough to get past. He looks to the outside of Acida del Lago and takes 7th place back. Thank you very much, J. Cole.
Dino at turn 2.
Dino has gone around, and J. Cole potentially looking to the inside here through turn 7. He gives a little nudge to Meyer. Will he look to the braking zone into turn 8? We haven't seen any drivers potentially go for that daring move yet. It's a brazen way of driving, but it's one that gets prizes. Pinolino now through turn 9 as we head up to Bico de Pato. P7 is in the grasp of J. Cole. He had it back momentarily before Meyer struck back and took it back from down the Retro Poster, but 4/10ths between them. And meanwhile, looking at the front of the pack, again, it's that 5/10th, 6/10th gap, Fozzy, and there seems to be no movement from those 3 drivers, really, but they are starting to build a gap. 3.5 seconds between Mysterious and Nico. Potentially a bit of strategy coming into play here.
Yeah, potentially. I've been riding on board with Kangakan a few times through Sector 1, and he really does manage to gain down that main straight into turn 1, but Merck just seems to get away on the exit of turn 3. It looks like Merck might be running a little bit more downforce than the Williams driver, which is how he's able to build that gap again. It looks like J. Cole and Meyer seem to be having a bit of a battle. As we go through the Scuderia del Lago, looked like he was about to lose the front wing. What's the Red Bull there? It's tight, and it isn't over yet. He's going to come back once more through turn 6, and he decides to take the brave move and just hang back a little bit further. He knows there's easier overtaking opportunities than what he was going to go for there, so he'll save that for a little bit later in the race. Meanwhile, a couple of places up ahead, Acosta, Undertaker and Excel all very close together. Undertaker, Acosta and Nico even all very close together. Coming up to turn 12, Young Cal now. Might we see a little bit of an overtake into turn 1? Well, I don't think so, because we haven't seen one off any of those drivers for a little bit, as Amir gets a 3-second time penalty. That just adds to his woes. Down in P17 at the moment. It's close between Kangaskun and Merck up the top ends, but it's not quite close enough to make a move. And if you ride on board, you'll see how Merck is able just to gain a bit more of a gap as they exit through turn 3 and escape down via Reta Aposta. Cameron.
Yeah, Nico pulling the trigger on the pit stop strategy from softs to mediums on lap 13. I think we'll start to see all the drivers coming in now, switching their boots for some new rubber as Undertaker moves up to P4. Undertaker the overtaker, the Alfa Romeo holding it on the inside though. That was close, wasn't it? That was almost a wing breaker. Drivers aren't afraid to pull these daring moves, are they? They're robust, but they get the job done, that's for sure. The Colombian versus the Alpine driver there, the 25 car, the Alfa Romeo. They've got a lovely new livery for this week at Monza, and it's a lovely livery in game as well, but he's right on the tail of that Alpine. Undertaker's under some serious threat here, getting a little bit squiggly on power as well as we head up through Young Cow. Turn 13 as we go into turn 14, subsided the boxes, simply to the pits as it translates. Lovely little language, Fozzy.
Yep, the race leader and P3 are both pitting. Hankin takes the lead at the moment, going that one extra lap. We're going to see Merckx come in now, and he's going to be going on to the medium tyres, as I suspect Mystarius will be for the Aston Martin team as well. Yes, he is. So this looks like it's going to be a one-stop for both of these drivers, assuming we don't get any safety car. But it's the Williams of Excel. Kangaskun the lead at the moment, yet to pit, 13-lap old softs. I imagine, Cameron, we might be seeing him coming in at the end of this lap. But the pit window is open. We're seeing a lot of the soft runners come in for the medium tyres now. The only remaining soft runner, apart from the top two, is MJ Coop. He's down in last place, P19. His softs are only 4 laps old, so I imagine he'll be going for a little bit longer yet, Cameron.
Yeah, you just wonder if Kangaskun behind Merckx was saving his tyres, saving energy and saving fuel potentially, and now he's ready to burn it, or will he head into the pits? Well, he's probably going to head into the pits, but I'd like to think he'd be doing something cool like that and able to burn that rubber now and try and get an overcut on the other driver, because there was only a matter of tenths between them. There's only a matter of tenths between Mystarius and the Williams driver DeLange here in P4 and P5. The Aston Martin chasing down the Williams, two iconic British brands battling out here in Brazil at Interlagos, a lovely track to be racing on this evening. And my oh my, this has been one hell of a race, and we're not even halfway through.
Yeah, I'm going to ride on board with Merckx and see if he manages to get ahead of Kangaskun at the pit exit. Kangakun's come in for his stop now. Let's see where the two are going to be when they cut to the end of this, Cameron.
Yeah, it's going to be close between them. I think Merckx has got that lead though. I'm pretty sure he's comfortably ahead there actually. I wonder if Kangaskun missed out on pitting later. The soft tyre had got away from him, but Mystarius has overtaken DeLange 93 and is ahead now by some mere 6 tenths and is 9 tenths away from Kangaskun. Kangaskun, instead of chasing onto Merckx, is falling back into the clutches of Mystarius, the Aston Martin driver. Aston Martin versus Williams. Once again, he's overtaken his teammate. Now he's got to take on Kangaskun. And Merckx...
Two Ferraris battling quite close there through turn 6. I thought they were going to make contact as we see Excel and Mansu going side by side through turn 9. I wouldn't say that battle's over yet. I keep an eye on that one. That's looking pretty close. I don't know if they've all boxed yet. I'm pretty sure P9, 10 and 11 have all gone into the pits, but with Slipstream coming up down the main straight, I definitely would keep an eye on that. That's going to be quite a close battle. The AlphaTauri of Liam in front there as well. Also a victim as Merckx hits a fast lap of 108.4 on the medium tyres.
Yeah, so let's ride on board with Mansu then on the T-Cam. He's got DRS. He's going to witness the battle between J. Cole and Liam. Liam's just hanging out for wind there. He's just like a rock on a straight. Nothing aerodynamic about that AlphaTauri at all. In fact, he's losing grip there through the centre S's. And he also gets a penalty added for his efforts. And now he's going to probably get overtaken by Mansu as well, who has DRS. Here we go. Climbing up alongside, taking the inside through turn 4. And Liam, though, fair play, hangs it around the outside. Dips back in, though. Doesn't want to lose too much time battling. Or does he? Because now he looks to the inside. AlphaTauri versus Haas. Honda versus Ferrari on power units as we head into turn 8. Oh, there's contact between the two. I don't know whether that's enough to cause damage. It is very easy to damage your front wings. It's ever so sensitive this year, and that might have cost Mansu more than just a position there, and maybe potentially a front wing replacement in the near future. And let's have a look at other battles going on. Acosta versus Delange, Alfa Romeo versus Williams. Here we go, then DRS along the back straight. Oh, it's ever so close to that pit wall, taking the shortest route into the centre S's. He's alongside and clearly ahead there of Delange 93. And now he looks to chase down Nico in the Alpine.
Liam and Mansu are going for it into the centre S's. It looks like Mansu manages to just get ahead of his round.
Mansu
spins around through turn 1. He nearly made it. He's on 9-lap old mediums. Hopefully he hasn't got too much of a flat spot there. But yeah, I saw he was really fighting, lining that one up down the main straight, and as soon as it came into the move, he just got a little bit too heavy on the power, and he lost the back end, nearly spinning into the pit lane there. Now his teammate Owen manages to get past him. Owen's on 16 old lap hards, and it kind of shows because it's been it's been a little bit of a twitchy lap for Owen this past one. He was fighting side by side with one of the Alfa Romeos about a lap ago, and nearly made contact as well. As it tells me it's still a yellow flag in sector 1, but I don't believe that is true. I think all the cars are clear off the pit lane now.
Oh, here comes the move.
What the Haas team would have wanted. Go on, Cameron.
Yeah, Alpine Undertaker looking to be nicknamed the Overtaker once again. He almost made the move stick through Young Cow, backs out of it, knowing he's got DRS down the pit straight, takes the inside, a robust, dominant maneuver there from the Alpine driver, positioning his car as close to the pit wall as extremely possible, and overtakes Delange 93 for 6th place here. 2.7 seconds he has to make up to Acosta, as Acosta is running away when it comes to the fastest lap, a 1:08.044 for the Colombian driver there. That is some pace when it comes to the race, Fozzy. And Liam, although having some difficulties in combat with Mansu, is only a matter of a couple tenths behind the Ferrari, the 21 car of Dino, and he has DRS. Doesn't make the move this time through to Cida de Lago down the Retroposta, but will there be a potential move coming through Freladura Lahinia and potentially turn 8 here? Well, he's dropping back slightly, so potentially not. The timing tower is having a little bit of a silly season again, but I'm sure he'll come back with us. We can read with our eyes. There's 60, oh I can't apparently, the 88 car there potentially chasing down Dino, the 21. Dino still a fair few car lengths ahead, but if he makes a mistake, Liam's grabbing that position, and they both have penalties as well, Fozzy. And talking of penalties, Amir's just got a penalty as well. That was really good timing, Amir. I mean, unfortunate for you, but I was going to segue then, and thank you very much. And he has another penalty to add to what was potentially been a bit of a weird race, bit of an unfortunate race for him to start off the season with, Fozzy. Any interesting battles going along the field, potentially for P5, P4?
Exactly in positions. Yeah, Nico is about to get overtaken by Acosta down into turn 4. Oh, that's tight. That's very tight. Nico very almost lost it through the centre S's of turn 1. But he manages to stay ahead. Oh, contact with the back right tyre there. But yeah, no one's gone round yet. This is a close one. This is one of the closest on the track so far. Yeah, as I was saying, Nico very nearly lost it through the first few corners. He managed just to stay ahead, but not for much longer, because down the Retroposta with the help of DRS, it was Acosta that was able to get ahead of Nico, but a little bit of battling as he went through 5 and 6 means the Alpine stays ahead. But Acosta's going to be already thinking about turn 1, as we see a couple of time penalties there for, I think it was Marcus, and also for Owen, both getting 3-second time penalties for corner cutting. But yes, Acosta is now going to be lining up with a bit of DRS, with a bit of slipstream for turn 1, and a nice overtake on Nico. He should be able to make this one quite easily, and Nico doesn't hold up too much. He knows that he's not going to be able to defend from that, and there's a long way to go in this race at the moment.
Yeah, as we head into lap 20 here for the first round of Invictus Racing League Season 13 PC F1, sponsored by GT Mega and brought to you in partnership with gridfinder.com. XL Merckx leads the way from KangoCon, then Mysterious 667, an impressive showing from all three drivers. XL Merckx, the championship winner last year, is showing he still has what it takes to be a championship contender this year. Meanwhile, the Haas, they've had troubles earlier and they were battling out a little while ago. There is now a fair gap between the two drivers, but they were side by side, banging wheels, taking corner cutting, whatever it took to get the job done. And getting the job done is what Excel is trying to do here. Excel J. Cole on Delange 93, the Williams driver. starting to suffer on pace a little bit in comparison to the Scuderia Ferrari driver for the famous Italian brand. Will he be able to make a move stick around here? Let's go from Mugello up the hill, around Youngcow. A brilliant corner in F1 and a brilliant corner on this game. And what we're seeing today is drivers lining up moves just like this. DRS down the pit straight. Is he going to make the move early on? Yes, he does, potentially. The Williams, though, is looking to go straight to the right-hand side. Meanwhile, J. Cole to the left, but J. Cole ultimately gets past the Williams and promotes himself to P7, 3 positions up from where he started. Meanwhile, DeLange, we've seen him getting overtaken quite a lot, but to be fair to him, he's up 6 positions from where he started. So a great race from DeLange there, and Nico now battling Acosta. Fozzy. Acosta, he knows he's willing to make anything to get the job done, and I wonder whether that will be in defence as well. 4 attempts to separate the Alpine and the Alfa Romeo drivers, the Colombian driver and the Slovenian driver. Wow, this is going to be a battle. But for the lead, you have to say that 2.4 seconds is going to be tough to whittle down unless either driver makes a mistake.
Yeah, further down the grid, I've been watching Amir and Bashi. Now, Amir has got quite a few penalties, 14 seconds to be precise, but that doesn't stop him from racing hard with his competitors. Him and Bashi have been side by side for the past lap. Surprised that there hasn't been a single touch between them yet. Very fair racing, giving each other lots of room. Oh, when it looked like Amir was about to go round, he took quite a lot of curve there, manages to keep it facing in the right direction. He's not done following this AlphaTauri yet, though. This battle's going to continue way into turn 1 and beyond, I suspect, as we see fights and battles going on for P9 and 8. So DeLange coming into the pits, and Zik gets a 3-second time penalty as well, which is, well, not going to help him, although it should keep him in the same position. MJ keeps quite far behind. Not been the best of races for the McLaren team so far. They would have liked to have seen a better opening to the season, but all in all, it's been quite close throughout the field. Nico still behind Acosta, trying to find a way up into P4 to get best of the rest, excluding the podiums. As we see Amir and Bashi still, like I say, fighting it out. Amir using the DRS to just get ahead down the main straight, and both keeping it going in the same the direct direction as they make their way onto the Retta Aposta. Cameron, what you got your eyes on?
Oh, watching the battle with Amir. Although he's had a bit of a tough race, he's making things to show up for the TV cameras. Let's put it that way. He's giving us the drama, the jeopardy, and the action that we all love to see. And Nico slowly closing in that gap. 700ths up on his last lap there, and DeLange 93, when he went to box, he went from, I believe, mediums to soft tyres, so he could be a threat in the latter stages. What, we've got 13 laps to go, roughly. He could be a real threat for points here on the likes of Marcus Owen and Liam Markham, as well as Mansu potentially, as they all have penalties, and DeLange does not. He's kept a clean sheet so far. Hopefully not a commentator's curse. We want our first one of the season this early on, but yes, Bashi fighting Amir once again. Amir, though, has 14 seconds of penalties. That is tough, isn't it? That's tough to deal with there. As Josh Heinze gets past, Owen is vibing. And Amir and Bashi battling out both Red Bull cars. One of them AlphaTauri, one of them the senior team. Both fighting for, well, not points, but pride here. Another DRS opportunity for Bashi to ride on board with Amir. You see Bashi getting the job done early on, and through to Cedar Delago takes to the inside, defending the potential battle that Amir could give back. But Amir, though, is wanting to give that battle back, and look how close they are. I have been amazed this evening by the absolute racecraft on show from all drivers. A brilliant job from all of you involved. This is some epic racing here, and it's only the first round of 15. We've got many tracks coming up on our calendar. Next week we head to Australia and then France after that, and you can check the full calendar online on the Invictus Racing League's website, linked in the description, and learn how to get involved as well. We will welcome you with open arms. DeLange overtakes Liam, who Liam enters into the pits, also going on to that soft strategy. These soft tyre runners could be a threat, as I mentioned earlier, but it's whether they can make up the time with the fresh tyre without burning up that lovely new soft compound rubber immediately. Fozzy. Nico, though, It's the battle we've been watching. We've been waiting for it to unfold. It's been sort of going on. It's been getting closer and closer before dying out. But now this could be an opportunity here. 6 attempts between him and Acosta as Dino gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He's off to the steward's office.
Watch Dino. Look how close he is with Owen. Oh, that was going to be tight. Buttocks were clenched as they went through turn 6 spare. Got to keep an eye on Owen and Dino, as well as Liam and Delange, who've all gone onto the soft tyres. Dino, out of M4, has the oldest tyre life. Here's a 3 laps old. He's been battling with Owen, who's on fresh, soft, 0 laps. So I don't think we've seen the end of that battle yet. How's it looking, though, for Nico and Acosta, who are still... Look how close they are. Oh, that was close for Acosta. As soon as I cut on board with Nico, see Acosta nearly get a big tank slapper going on as we see Mansu also dive into the pits in the Haas. What tyre is he going to be going on to? I suspect probably the softs. Nico, like I say, will be focusing on turn 1 now as we see Maya get another 3-second time penalty. That's not good for him. Nico's got older tyres than Acosta. Owen's got the fastest lap on them softs for 107.928. So let's see how Nico can line up a move down into turn 1. He's got the sharp left-hander of Junkao, turn 12 to go. Then there's a couple of kinks of 13, 14 and 15 to finish up the lap. Is he going to be able to make a move with a bit of DRS? Well, he is within DRS range, 5 attempts behind, but I think he is a little bit too far behind to actually make any move come off. But he'll keep fighting to see what he can do. There's a long way to go in this race yet. We've still got another 10 laps to go. If there's maybe another 100 metres or so, he might have been able to make a move there, but he hasn't been able to. What's his downforce like? Is Nico going to be able to stay with Acosta through turns 1 and 2? Well, he's not too far back. 3.5 attempts back, and he's going to get DRS as well. Is he going to be deploying energy? Doesn't look like he is, but he's eyeing up a move. And again, he's just a little bit too far back to make anything come to fruition there, but that's definitely about to keep an eye on. Further down the field, we got a Dino lining up a move on Jos Heinze as they go through turns 13 and 14. He's going to have DRS as well, and he's got about 50% energy. It looks like we have a Red Bull round, Cameron.
Yes, Amir is off. Just going to ride on board with Mert, see if we can see him. Yes, on the right-hand side of the young cow. He looks completely out of it there. No safety car, just a yellow flag at this moment in time. Imagine a safety car would bring them all back to a race neutralisation, but it looks like we're just going to get away with a yellow flag, which is thankfully probably what Merckx only wants. Doesn't want a safety car to ruin his 3.9 second lead. Jos Heinze though gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but that is the first DNF of the season in a race, that is, and Nico is still trying to get this P4 position here from Acosta. Fozzy.
Yeah, I'd have a look at Mansu. He's really eyeing up Dino. Jos Heinze's round. I was about to say Jos Heinze was following that battle. He's out of the points, and he's nearly out of the race as well. He's going to have to box for a new front wing now. It has not been the start to the season that the McLaren driver would have wanted. It's gone from bad to worse for him. He's got penalties. He's got 8 seconds to be precise, and he's going to need a new wing as well. Try saying that 3 times fast as Bashi gets past him as well. He's having to go slow because of that wing damage. Cameron.
Mansu versus Dino. This is a battle. Mansu takes P12, holds on to position. Dino chasing him alongside down the pit straight, battling all the way out of Young Cow, Mergulo, Young Cow, and all the way down the DRS straight. And now the 21 car, Dino, is looking to make the move stick once and for all. Although he does have 6-second penalties, that doesn't matter right now for him as he takes P12 on the fringe of the points, but has penalties to account for here in Brazil. Zeke and Jos Heinze, where Jos Heinze is getting a wing change, painfully slow. That must feel like it takes age. Fozzy getting a wing change. As you said, disaster for McLaren here. The 2 drivers who were in PC F2 last year has had the complete opposite experience. They were fighting it for the championship win come to the right of the battle at Singapore. A brilliant stream and race that was, and now they're fighting for 17th and 18th. Unfortunate start for them, but let's hope they get a better luck of fortune in the coming round. It's a long season, 15 rounds make up IRL season 13, Fozzy.
Mansu's eyeing up Dino, and he looks like he's going to make the move much further forward than what he wanted. It looks like an Alpine just went around as well, but it appears to be going again. But it's a good move by Mansu. Dino looks hungry for one. He's going to try and go around the outside. Realises he runs out of tarmac quite soon and decides to back out of that one. He's got 60% energy though, so he'll be trying to deploy that, and including a bit of DRS as well to try and regain that 12th position. I know he's got 6 seconds of penalties, but these are racers and they want to race for pride and track position. That's exactly what we're going to see the Ferrari driver doing. So he's going to be following Mansu. Will he be trying to make a move through Sector 2? Well, you have to keep an eye on that one. It's entirely possible. He's on soft tyres, although as is Mansu as well. So anything still to play for in these dying few laps of the race. We've got about 7 laps to go. Anything still to happen yet. Nico and Acosta still that battle going on. It's been one of the longest battles going for a while. It looks like Nico's still a bit further back, Cameron.
And it's not just Acosta and Nico here. You've got Mysterious. This is not just a fight for 4th, but a fight for the last podium position. Acosta is only 7 tenths away from Mysterious, who's in P3. If Nico gets this right, he can not only take P4, but also a podium position in the first podium of the season for Nico. What a result that'll be for Alpine there in this early start to the season 13 IRL PC F1, and it's just 8 tenths now. I wonder if this has been the strategy all along. Nico and Acosta almost work together to catch up to Mysterious. Is this 3D chess we're watching in action? Who's going to play the Queen's Gambit out of these two though? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. Nico though, still just managing that 6-tenth gap. We know that the tyre situation is a bit of a dodgy one for both cars, and hopefully they won't have to worry about punctures too much as Liam Markham takes the fastest lap there. Scuderia AlphaTauri Honda with a 107.653 on the soft compound, really showing his pace there. Unfortunately though, he won't get the fastest lap point as he's in P15. It'll go to the next valid driver in the top 10 with the second fastest lap. But now we watch Acosta. He's closing up marvellously to Mysterious. 4 tenths between the two now. That was 8 tenths not so long ago. DRS is ever so powerful here, really closing the cars together. This is going to be a battle right to the dying stages of this race, Fozzy. I reckon we're going to see this go on right until the checkered flag.
Like I say, don't count out Nico of this battle. He's not too far behind, just a few tenths behind Acosta. So for these position 3, 4 and 5 and that final step on the podium, well, I wouldn't be able to tell you who's going to get it. Nico's going to be eyeing up a move down into Young Cow, but he's going to be a little bit too far back if he's going to try and carry that momentum and carry it all the way down this main straight around the banked corner with a bit of DRS to try and get that move on Acosta. But I think just this time he's a little bit too far back. Acosta on Mysterious though, that's a potential one. He's deploying all the Gen G he's got a bit of DRS, but he hasn't got enough tarmac to make the move work. But he's going to be staying with the gearbox of the Aston Martin to try and carry this momentum, as I say, down towards turn 4, down the rest of Riposta. Is he going to be able to make a move? He's got 60% battery. That's plenty of battery. He's got DRS as well, but he's not deploying it yet. Is he going to be playing the safe game? And is he going to try and hold out this lap to try and get him down the centre S's and make that move on to lap 32? Well, I reckon he's going to be trying to do that.
This needs to be a clean move as well, because if there's any time lost between them, Nico is right in that battle for P3. It needs to be a clean DRS overtake, any fighting in the corners, and Nico is going to be right on that podium position. He's also been saving up energy and tyre life, ready to use in the dying stages of this race before that checkered flag falls. 4 seconds between Mysterious and Excel Kangaskhan. You have to say the podium seems pretty settled, all but that 3rd place position. But Mert leading a marvellous race on lap 31 of this Brazilian Grand Prix as we now head on to lap 32. Not many laps left, but here we go. 2 tenths between Acosta and Mysterious. DRS Acosta to the outside. The Aston Martin holds the inside line, but there is no answer for the challenge proposed, and Acosta takes P3, and that's what they needed, a clean overtake. But will Mysterious fight back here? Well, you'd certainly hope so. Mysterious will gain DRS here, I believe, and will be able to... No, he doesn't. He does not have DRS. Oh, he does, sorry. Never mind, a bit of a glitch. And Nico now closing up on Mysterious. Mysterious in turn closing up on Acosta. And is that rain? I'm seeing rain on my screen. There seems to be things going from the heavens. Well, it didn't take very long, did it, for us to bring the weather to Interlagos. Now this will make things interesting, Fozzy. It's time to get the wet weather racers experience, and they will show very shortly with not many laps to go.
Round at turn 1. It looks like Zick from Mercedes has, well, he's boxed for Inters. He's already on the Inters.
Safety car, VSC.
Virtual safety car to kick things off. It's all about to kick off. Don't go anywhere in these next 5 laps. Anything could happen. It is IRL PC F1. Oh, I'm excited now. It was all boiling up to be a fantastic end, and I think it's about to get 200% better. Because here we go. The rain's coming. The strategy is all playing out. The virtual safety car, and yeah, it looks like we are seeing some people come into the box.
Safety car, full safety car.
Full safety car.
My oh my, ladies and gentlemen all at home, I hope you're enjoying this. We're gonna get a couple lap shootout, Fozzy, here at Brazil.
Yep, that safety car is at turn 9. Marcus and the Alfa Romeo has spun around. He's hit the wall, he's lost a wing, and he's lost a tyre, and he's sat in the middle. Between 9 and 10 in Sector 2. So maybe he was one of the drivers caught out by that rain. Now, there's only 4 laps to go. Would anybody be mad enough to stay on slicks, do you think?
Yes, well, with this game, the wet weather is kind of tricky to show visually, as opposed to what the tyres themselves feel, so it's difficult to tell when it is wet enough, but I assume we're just slipping and sliding. That's when you make the call, but those setups, they probably were predominantly dry.
Nico's off at turn 4, the end of Rieta Raposta.
It's too early for Inters. Too early for Inters. This is right on the crossover there.
I think MJ
Mert is off. Mert, the race leader, is off. Kangaskhan takes the race lead under safety car. That 5-6 second lead has been completely diminished. He's come to a stop on the exit of Young Cow. He's at turn 14 now. He's going so slowly. Oh, this is absolute pain for Mert. Has led the race. Didn't qualify on pole, but he led the race throughout up to lap 33. Heartbreak, tragedy in the Mercedes garage, and Kangaskhan has now gone into the pits and boxes onto intermediates. It's all going to come down to when does this safety car come in. We might see a shock winner here, folks, and this is one way to kick off the season here at IRL PC F1, sponsored by GT Omega and brought to you in partnership with gridfinder.com.
Merckx hasn't boxed for intermediates. Is he going to try and stick this out under safety car to the end? Because he's got to go... has he? No, he's just just jumped back down to P4. He was leading the race. He still isn't on intermediates, but I was going to say, was he going to stick it out and just hope we finish under safety car, maybe?
Yeah, he's just left the session, so we're not too sure what's happening there with Merckx. I hope it gets resolved. Potentially in time for the safety car restart, but that is your race leader now, Kangaskhan. Acosta was fighting it for P3. He's now fighting for the race lead and the race win here at Brazil. Brazil, you are one hell of a track. Kangaskhan, careful there, buddy. You don't want to spin that Williams around warming up your tyres. It's going to be very difficult here. The field is still very spread out and there's not many laps to go. This could be just a 1 or 2 lap shootout here for the race win, Fozzy. Now, it does look intermediate conditions. Is there anyone else on slicks? Are they all on inters now? Because this is going to be quite a difficult one, I'd imagine, on slicks.
The only one on slicks is Liam in the AlphaTauri in P13 at the moment, and he's struggling to keep the car going in a safe direction. It's a safety car in this lap. We are going to get a few laps of race. Let's head up to the front and see how things are going to be going. Merckx still on the mediums, not sure if he's in the session at the moment, but let's definitely keep an eye on him, see how he does. What I was going to say earlier when Nico went off before Merckx did was that MJ Coupe got a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Nico, so was he taken out of the race by the McLaren? We'll have to see what the stewards have to say about that, but it's Kangaskhan that leads the safety car restart. He's going to take this as long as he can to get going as Acosta gets a 5-second penalty. That's not going to help him. Is this going to be the win for Kangaskhan? Well, I reckon it might be if he can keep it going in a straight line. It's a good getaway from him. He manages to stay ahead of Acosta, but don't forget him and Mastarius both have penalties. Could Undertaker be in a good position here as well? I suspect he might be able to, but Kangaskhan does get a good lead ahead of Acosta. He's half a second ahead already, managing to keep that going in the same direction. Hasn't managed to spin. All looking good for him. Merckx still in the race apparently on the mediums. How long's he going to be in the race for? Not too sure. Meanwhile, further down we see J. Cole in 7. He's ahead of Mansoon and the other half of Owen, who's down in P9 at the moment. It's a close gap between Acosta and Kangaskhan. Acosta's still thinking, can I get ahead and make something of this? Is he hoping that Kangaskhan maybe makes a mistake or gets a penalty as well? Anything's possible here, Cameron.
Yes, and also certain penalties might be appealed by the drivers and teams in the stewards office, so it's not over yet. You might have 5 seconds, but you never know. If you overtake him and you get that penalty removed, you are not only the race winner, but the championship lead driver on the first round here. He got a lap to go. We're heading on to the final lap. The cars have certainly slowed down. It is treacherous conditions out there, but they're still going to fight for position. Kangaskhan now leading the pack, of course, taking the race lead under safety car, with Merckx suffering what can only be described as a calamity. Unfortunately for him, but 4 attempts separate Acosta and Kangaskhan. The weather has served us quite a surprise winner, I'd say here.
Merckx is round. Big crash for Merckx.
Merckx is round, and he is surely going to have to retire the car there. That's going to be difficult. Oh, Cars is trying to get past him. It all seems to be fine. Meanwhile, Costa, 3 attempts between him and Kangaskhan. It's even more difficult to make the move stick now. There's no DRS, I believe, so it's all going to come down to the braking zones. Around Sector 2 is your best shot, and there we have it. Officially, Mert has retired for the session. Who was once leading the race, is now retired from the session. I believe will still be classified. But Kangaskhan leading the final lap around Brazil. 36 laps of action here, and it's led to this. Kangaskhan going around Young Cow for the final time. This race, ever so easy on the power now, Kangaskhan. You can make this work. Acosta, will he look for a move to the line? It's going to be difficult straight line speed. Kangaskhan now getting ever so closer and closer and closer. No risk is all reward here. And Kangaskhan crosses the line to take victory in Brazil. And Kangaskhan is your championship leader. Undertaker, the overtaker, takes P2 with penalties applied. Acosta takes P3. He was fighting for that podium early on. Well, he certainly got it. And Mysterious, P4. Mir, P5. Exile J. Cole, P6. Mansu. Eventually, actually, they recovered well, the two Haas drivers, you have to say. 7th and 8th there between the two. A good recovery from what was a spin and a bit of a battle early on. Delange, 93, taking 9th. Nico, the final points finisher here, 10th. But is he going to get overtaken by Bashi? He does!
Bashi's got him.
And Bashi has got him.
Nico had a bit of a spin, although Bashi did have a penalty, so we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, what a drive that was for Undertaker and Acosta, starting P8 and 9 respectively. Now up there on the podium, and the in-game driver today, Delange, so congratulations to you. But yeah, that was a race from start to finish. There was drama, and like they say, don't go anywhere to the final few laps, anything can happen.
It certainly can. Who would have thought that? Mert looks so strong, so confident in the lead. The winner of last season's championship, he looked to have it wrapped and almost in the bag, taking the trophy home with him. But that did not happen today, unfortunately. It's the Frenchman who takes the win, and joined by the Colombian driver, as well as, I believe, the I can't see the flag, but he was a great driver from all the people on the podium. The top prize, though, is a Slovenian. There we go. And Nico has left the session. Well, thank you all for joining. There is your championship lead, as well as the race winner there. The Williams started from pole, lost the position early on, and battled for it. And luckily, safety car gave us, well, a turnaround, let's put it that way, a mix-up of the grid. With the safety car, it came in quite early, so a lot of the pack wasn't actually bunched together, so it was quite a difficult one for drivers further down the field. But thank you for joining us on this broadcast. This race is brought to you in partnership with GT Omega and GridFinder. Find your place on the grid today with gridfinder.com. And learn how you can get involved with Invictus Racing League in the description below. Check out our site. We welcome you with open arms. Join this league. You've seen what action can occur, so join us and get your seat on the grid, or potentially in commentary. Either roles are available. Well, thank you, Fozzy. That was one hell of a round to kick off the season, eh?
It is. The heart's certainly racing, and I don't think the heart rate's going to go down until we end near Christmas time on December 23rd. We are with you for the rest of the year almost. I can't wait to see what the next 14 races have in store. Australia in a week's time. Well, if Brazil has anything to go by, make sure you got your popcorn ready for the Down Under.
Yeah, we're going down under. We're going from the south of America to Australia. That will be a brilliant race. I'm sure Australia, we're not obviously getting this season in real life, so we hope we can provide you with a surpassable amount of action. And then France after that for round 3, followed by Canada, and then Britain, Austria, Belgium, and then we have a week off, and then plenty of races, as you can see on the screen there, coming up after the week off break. And well, join us next week for Australia. We'll be live on the 15th of September, 7:55 p.m. Join us here. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage, and we hope you've enjoyed the race. That's one hell of a way to kick off the season. So for now, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one, and goodbye.